What's up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are yourselves a great week so far. We are back to talk about episode 7 of Daredevil Born Again. Now, originally, I thought this had 9 seasons, but I did not 9 seasons, 9 episodes, but I did remember that they cut one short. So now we had this episode, and then the season 2 finale next week with episode 8. Now, in this episode, a lot of moving parts, a lot of things. There are some things related to Daredevil Born Again season 3, and including some viewership numbers and stuff like that, that I'll probably will just wait and talk about after next week's episode. I'll probably do a separate video when I go over the overall season 2 thoughts about Daredevil Born Again. But Daredevil Born Again, obviously, remember at the end of episode 6, at the riot outside the mayor's house, Karen gets captured. We see the beginning. She is basically getting processed, fingerprints, the whole 9 yards. Even Fisk comes to visit her, and he is making this legit. Like, even Karen at the beginning calls out the fact that, like, he's scared, or she like or like she's never seen him this scared before. Um, and he seems to be very much on a warpath. Like, there's no telling on what's going. Like, later on, she tells Matt when she sees him, there's no telling what's he scheming, how many steps ahead of us he is, and everything. Um, so a lot of moving parts in this episode. So I want us to start with. We'll start with this. So Jessica goes and actually visits Charles. I'm kind of a little bit upset that I thought Matthew Leonard was going to play a much more prominent role in season 2, and he really hasn't. And I kind of am disappointed about that because I do love Matthew Leonard as an actor and everything, and in most of the majority of the stuff he's been in. But it just feels like he's just playing Charles, and that's it. He's just playing like a CIA, NSA, or whatever kind of typical guy. There's nothing really unique about him. But obviously, Jessica is pretty much not too happy about armed thugs showing up at her house while her daughter's there, and she very much makes it clear, you do it, you do it again, she'll end him. Now, last week, something interesting that I talked about in episode 6 was when Matt and Jessica went in to the warehouse where Fisk was storing the guns after they moved it um, from Red Hook. Because we saw her go and punch Powell, and it looked like it didn't phase him, and it looked like it hurt her. Now, I thought there was something about Powell, like maybe he's like a comic book villain or something like that that we're going to get introduced to into the bigger Marvel universe. No, according to Charles, it comes off as if Jessica has been losing her powers. So that is interesting. Now, obviously, she does have a kid with Luke, so there could be a situation where, I don't know, maybe her powers got passed down to their daughter, maybe? I don't know. I'm very curious to know about that. But obviously, Charles is like, I'm the only one that can connect you with Luke. And she's like, where is he? Charles is like, oh, he's overseas doing the Lord's work. And so we know that for a fact. Now, we do know, thanks to the actor who is playing um, Luke Cage, that he took, like, a couple of weeks ago. I believe this is probably before episode 5, maybe 4, where he put an image on his, I think it was on his Instagram, of him, Christine Ritter, and the actor that plays Danny Rand, Iron Fist. And picture them on his Instagram. There's also another one later of him, Charlie Cox, and the actress that plays Karen. And obviously, that was deleted, so it does look like we are going to get some type of Defenders meetup in episode 8, next week's episode. So it's going to be interesting to see if that is the case. Now, we also get Cherry back from after recovering from his heart attack. He goes and meets Matt and Jessica on top of the roof and explains, okay, Karen's at the 15th precinct. It's like Matt can't just go in there and just tear the place apart to get her out. It's legitimate. Um, they're going to fast track her to the vigilante court. Um, so so they come up with a plan. So Matt goes and thanks to Brett, who we finally get to see again, just for this one little scene, he he's able to sneak Karen out long enough uh to meet Matt outside, and they go over their strategy, they go over their plan and everything like that. And now the trial itself for Karen is going to be televised, um, which means everybody's going to see it. Everybody's going to see the whole court, the whole trial, everything, and in particular the mayor, because she's already pulling her support from Fisk. Like, he has gotten out of control. Now you don't have Vanessa to reel him in, and she is the only one who can revoke the charter. So the theory is Fisk is probably going to send somebody to take her out, to take out the governor, and then put his own puppet in that place. And if that, now I would assume it was probably the guy that Buck was talking to while they were at the dinner party in episode 5, or no, maybe episode 4 is what I'm thinking. And so um Fisk's plan is going to send somebody. So Matt and them, they kind of get ahead of it. So he goes, releases Poindexter, and basically tells them, if you want your one chance for penance, or to weigh the scales, tip the scales, however, whatever the phrase is, I need you to do something for me. And he's like, what makes you think I will keep, I'll keep the promise or whatever? And he's like, I wouldn't, you know, wouldn't expect you to. So Matt sends Poindexter to the governor's mansion, because yes, Fisk does send somebody to go take out the governor. Bullseye comes in, quickly takes out that person, and then that is it. Bullseye's off as the police arrive. Meanwhile, you have Daniel and BB, and obviously they're at a tipping point as well, because Daniel, he's probably known for a while, but he probably really cared about BB and everything like that. But if he doesn't turn her over to Buck, then sorry about that. Then he's gonna come after Buck's gonna come after BB. He's gonna come after Daniel. He's gonna go after his mom. Anybody that he cares about, they're gonna go after and just take them all out. Um, and so he secretly texts Buck where they're going to go, where they're going to meet, and everything like that. So Buck can handle BB. Now, obviously, Daniel is. Yeah, I actually kind of grew to like Daniel a little bit more. I didn't like him as much in season one, but this season he has kind of grown on me, and he basically lets BB go. He like, don't tell me where you're going. Don't call anybody. Don't go anywhere you think he will be at. And he goes and confronts Buck, and it does not end well. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but no, it just does not end well for Daniel. Buck literally beats him to a pulp, and Buck's like, I'm not enjoying this and everything, because he really grew to like Daniel over the course of these 2 seasons, and he's he's like, tell me where she is, and he doesn't know and everything like that, and even Daniel's just like, what's good following orders, because like sooner or later you're gonna be in this position that I'm in, and while you're gonna have somebody standing over you with a gun pointed at you, and you get like you can tell Buck is just hesitating. He is hesitating, and then he pulls the trigger and kills Daniel. So That's it. That's it for him. I was just like, dang, Daniel. So that's it for Daniel in that regards. Um, Doc Heather Glenn. So it sounds like, now again, these are all rumors or anything like that. I don't know how factual it is. You know how Twitter is and all that stuff. It definitely feels like they're grooming her to be a villain. It definitely feels like that. She has the PTSD from her encounter with Muse in season one, and you also have Muse kind of just um consistently showing up in the background as like just a figment of her mind and everything. Just like the PTSD is like really starting to like hit home with her. Like she gets aggressive with Karen. I mean, Karen also gets aggressive back. Because you know it's tough. So it's from what I saw online. What I don't know if it's true or not. Obviously, we're gonna have to wait and see. But it sounds like they're going to, because season three of Daredevil is going on right now, or it may have already wrapped production and everything, but it sounds like they're gonna make her into a female version of Muse. Now, I believe there is a female version in the comics, so it sounds like they're gonna do that. They're gonna turn her into a Muse like copycat, and I don't even like this character. I didn't like her in season one. I didn't really like her much in season two, and if that's the case, it's kind of like, what are we doing? Because it sounds like the viewership is also not doing very great for this series as a whole. So, needless to say, we got the trial, and you know they come up with this is their plan. It's gonna be televised. It's gonna be live. People can see it. And as the case gets ready or the trial starts to get going, uh, Kristen is like, Your Honors, I'd like to add in my co-counsel, and what I think his name is Holberg or Holbeck, however you pronounce his name. And we get the Matt Murdock introduction, and everybody's just like spazzing out and everything, and it goes to Fisk, and I was kind of like, was he planning this? But like the facial gestures he made makes it seem like he wasn't anticipating this. Like this wasn't according to what his plan was going to be for Karen. So they questioned Officer Powell and then Officer Cole. Um, and because Matt's like, the vigilante task force, who set the parameters for the mission of this task force? And Powell's like, Mayor Fisk. And then you get Cole, where Kristen's like, how'd you get those scars on your body? And he's like, an encounter with Daredevil and Frank Castle in Matt Murdock's apartment. And Kristen's like, why were you there? Oh, welfare check. And Kirsten's like, with assault rifles and an armored personnel carrier, that's a lot of firepower for for a blind man. He even gets a chuckle out of some people. But it turns into like a little bit of an ambush afterwards, because some of the task force guys tries to take out Matt, Kristen, Cherry, some of his buddies as well. And luckily Kristen gets away. Matt does gets hit in the leg, and he stumbles his way to the church. And as he's doing his prayer and everything, Jessica walks in. Um, and the episode does end after Buck killed Daniel. You hear like a door open and close, and that's the end of it. So I would probably say probably not bad. Probably not a bad episode. It was pretty good. I mean, I think I enjoyed this episode. There's not much to enjoy out of season two, but I enjoyed these last couple of episodes. It's gonna be interesting on how things shake out with episode 8 next week, the season finale, which I believe yeah, that should be. Let me make sure. Let's see. Let's see. I think. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, 8 episodes. So next week is the May 5th is the final episode for Daredevil Born Again. So the plan is gonna be we'll do the regular episode review, and then probably that following week I will have like an overall series review of Daredevil Born Again season 2. There's a few other videos I gotta get out there as well. I still have not done a Night of the Seven Kingdoms review, so that I've got to do that too. So there's plenty of videos for you guys that's going to be coming out here soon. But yeah, so we'll see how things shape out, because there's still a lot of unanswered questions. How with episode 8, how does this set up season 3 of Daredevil Born Again? You know, we pretty much maybe have an idea that maybe Fisk isn't mayor in terms of Spider-Man Brand New Day, and we also got the Punisher special that is coming up. When is that actually? When is the Punisher special? The Punisher One Last Kill. That is coming out that following week, May 12th. Okay, so you got Daredevil episode 8 next week, and then that following week you have the Punisher special. So we're gonna be pretty busy. But guys, that is basically it. If you are new to the channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Be sure you comment below. You can also find me on the gaming channel, the Nerd Talk Podcast, on Spotify, Twitch, Kick, Rumble. All that you can find down in the description below. But guys, thank you again for hanging out. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Y'all have a good one.